Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us for another edition of City Line, a very special edition. We have a very special guest, and we'd like to you to meet him right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Miles Davis. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Great that you could be here today. Maybe I can get this. Okay, finally.
So comfortable.
Have a seat.
So glad that you could be with us today. Baltimore has missed you for quite some time. It's been more than 10 years since your last appearance here. Is that correct?
Right.
Thank you very much for being here. Could you tell us, is this part of a nationwide tour?
Tell me your names first.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is B.T. Bentley.
And I'm Jackie Hall.
Okay. All right.
Is Baltimore part of a nationwide tour or a special appearance?
Just the concert at the school.
Are you having any intention of doing a larger tour, or are you really just basically going city by city and making a decision on an individual basis?
Well, that's it. Just one concert.
Okay.
We like to do about 3 a month.
Okay.
Was there anything that made you decide to get back on the tour at this time and somewhat come out of retirement, if that is a proper word to use? Why now? Because your audiences have missed you for years and years and years.
How many years did you say?
Well, a good 10 years.
No, not 10.
In
not
this
10.
area.
I heard that. You made a mistake about 4.
What made you come to Baltimore this time? I mean, aside from the concert, but what entered into the decision? We've missed you.
Money.
Bottom line.
So that's good, then.
And, you know, with my love for music, you know, my love for music is more than my hate for the business end of music.
Okay.
So,
You prefer performing to composing, is that true?
no. What kind of question is that? Come on. No. I love to play, you know. I was on a plane coming here, and I thought, it's a nice chord to play a major 7th chord. I could hear it in my head. And I said to myself, I'm so glad I can hear that with my band. So you see, my love for the sounds of composing and, you know, mixing different sounds over ways that sad stuff in the music business, you know.
You're always hearing those sounds. You're always experimenting and trying new things.
Well, it's just like anything else you always hear. It's like your conscience. You know, you can always hear melodies. You can turn them off, and sometimes they wake you up and say, listen, what we have for you here.
How old were you when you first started hearing those melodious sounds and you realized that you wanted to make music your life?
About 6.
How would you describe your beginnings? I believe I recall that once you began going around actually playing in clubs or whatever, you spent some time with Charlie Parker. Is that correct?
You ever read those 3 books they have out on me?
To be honest...
See? Let me tell you something. I haven't been on the cover as much as I've done for music. I have never been on a black cover magazine.
Why do you think that is?
The same reason you didn't read my book.
And what reason is that?
I'm not interested.
I'm not sure if that's the case.
No, but I mean, if I'm going to come here, you should always read something so you can ask me a civilized question.
Well, we did read, unfortunately. We didn't have
All right,
any
well,
books.
ask me again what you said.
Okay, I was asking you whether or not you spent some time with Charlie Parker in the early years and what type of influence or experience that was for you. Even if I knew, I think the audience might like it.
Okay, I got you. I just spent some time with Charlie Parker. But when I was 15, I was playing in nightclubs. So when I graduated from high school, I went to Juilliard. And I had played with Bill Eckstein in St. Louis because the trumpet player had a hemorrhage. And before that, I'd gotten a record with Dizzy and Coleman Hawkins called Wooden Hill. And the style he played and the style I played was similar that I wanted to play. So Charlie Parker was in the band in St. Louis, pardon me, with Bill Eckstein, pardon me. So Julio was in New York, so I looked him up.
Okay.
So I used to go down on 52nd Street every night to hear him and Dizzy. So Dizzy, I think Dizzy went to do some concerts with Norman Granz, Jazz at the Philharmonic. And Bird and I lived in the same house.
Particular video that it is
So
compatible.
effective.
Let's bring in our studio audience. We have someone at the mic now.
Good afternoon, Mr. Davis.
Yeah.
My name is Andre Brown. It's a great honor for me to meet you, and I'm rather nervous and sort of intimidated because I'm going to ask you this question. I read an interview, I believe it was in a Playboy during the 1960s. I believe Alex Haley interviewed you. And what I want to ask you is performing. You seem to have a great disdain for performance as opposed to going in the studio and working. And you've been greatly criticized for your tendency, don't mean to maybe antagonize you, but tendency to turn your back to the audience when you perform, and critics and some of your fans don't believe that is right of you, since they love you enough to pay for a ticket and come to see you perform. They feel that at least you should have the courtesy of standing before them and playing. I hope that didn't make you angry.
So what's your question, Andre?
Yeah, why
do I turn my back?
back on the audience?
I don't turn my back. It's just that on a stage, there are different sounds on the whole stage. And for trumpet, it picks up better. When you get, this side of a stage might be better for trumpet, and the drums might be better over that way. So I always try to pick the spot where the trumpet where I can hear myself. That's really what's happening.
Thank you very much, and it's indeed an honor to meet you.
Thank you.
And Andre, we're all a little bit nervous up here today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Your, I guess the nature of your music beyond, I hate to use that jazz label.
It's okay. But you see, you hate to use it because it means black.
No, I hate to use it because I don't think that it's something that your music fits into. Your music...
Let me tell you why I don't like jazz first.
Okay.
The name. I was here in Baltimore years ago, and it was still kind of prejudice, right? I mean, it is.